still a b-boy. From the old to the new, still a b-boy. Too bold for the school, still a b-boy. East coast to the west, b-boys worldwide, we supposed to be blessed, still a b-boy.
This week, we're heading to the dirty South, to ATL, to talk about one of not only the top rappers, but artists in general in the early 2000s, combining comical lyrics, catchy anthems, but still making strong songs the street respected. Ludacris has cemented his place in hip hop history. Top 10 Luda joints. Joining me, Raven Hunter, my man, the Hurricane, and let's do this. Number 10. I'm going to 2006 Release Therapy, an album that doesn't exist in Raven's world. And I'm going with a song called Girls Gone Wild. Now, I never thought this would make my list. It just wouldn't leave my head. I'd go through all of his songs and still be singing this song in my head. It just stuck in me. It's like hypnotic. It's got this, it's almost like you're tripping or something. Beat by the Neptunes, just flows really unique. It's real hypnotic and it doesn't leave your mind. I listened to every album and this was the song that stuck in my mind the most. So I thought that was a sign. So Girls Gone Wild is my number 10. Raven, what's yours?
So like I've never heard that song before. I didn't know that. I had never heard that album. So that album does not exist.
Yeah,
But anyway,
you're in a parallel universe.
Number 10, I went with Baby from Justin Bieber and Ludacris. I'm just kidding.
I was like, I didn't peep that one out.
Hey, that's a great song. I promised my fiance I would do that. But anyway, number 10. I went to 2003 Chicken and Beer for the song Teamwork. And it's because the beat is wild, man. It's got this like 1980s Casio keyboard hook, and then it goes to a totally different feel when that drops out, and Luda just flows his ass off in that song. I mean, it's a sex song, it's Ludacris, you know, kind of what to expect, but I just love that beat, and especially the way that keyboard, it irritates the fuck out of me in the hook, and I hate it. And then it goes away, and it's one of my top 10 songs. So that's how much beats can break shit for me, but I love Teamwork.
There's plenty of songs where there's one element in a beat that takes me totally out of it. Just a little ting ting or whatever. Dope album, dope song. Kane, number 10.
So I broke the rules a little bit.
Damn
my
rule
number
breaker.
my number 10 is all of his intros and skits. I think Ludacris is one of the best out there for his intros. You know, you don't hear intros like that on most albums.
Right.
You know, it's just he's so lyrical in them, and they're just, you know, yeah, they're only one line or one verse
Right.
little songs, but they're dope. And then his skits, you know, like we were saying before, we still listen to those skits today and laugh, and it's still funny.
90% of artists who put skits on albums, I skip. Maybe I listen to it once, but it's most of them I skip. Very rarely I listen to skits over and over. But Ludacris, you listen to because, damn, he could almost be a comedian. Just like I have a sketch show like Chappelle's show or something.
Right.
Shit, I'd pay to see that. All right, we are at number 9, and I'm heading to the year 2001. The album is Word of Mouth. What a F. And I'm going with Move Bitch. Now, I kept trying to talk myself out of having this on my list. I figured everybody would have it on theirs, so I'd put a lesser one on there. But that fucking hook. I had to be real. That hook, one of his most well-known songs, that hook just has transcended the song even itself. The vibe, you get hype. One day I'm going to make a car horn. When you hit the horn, it plays that hook.
That'd be dope.
That'd be dope, wouldn't it? My only critique is, you know, I wish it was 3 Luda verses. Even though Mystical and I-20 are okay on it, average, I would have loved to see Luda on all of them, but damn that hook. How iconic. How just fucking the energy and power behind it. So it had to make my list. I couldn't hate on it. So that was my number 9, Move Bitch. What's number 9 on your list and Heart, Raven?
Surprisingly, Move Bitch. And it has not happened in a while where we end up with the same shit. But yeah, Move Bitch's beat is something I always loved. And like you said, the chorus, Oddly, it is the only song that I did include from the Word of Mouth album. The lower quality end of the recordings for Ludacris in his first two or three albums kind of hurt me when I replayed them, and I think that's why they didn't quite live up as much.
Mhm.
Whoever was mixing and mastering him just was fucked because his overdubs were just as loud as his main vocals, and yeah, some of it just sounded muffled and muddy to me. But that song and that video, I always loved the video for Move
Well,
Bitch, and I actually love I-20. Was my favorite DTP member because his voice is very unique, and I like that.
it is very unique. And if you see him, he doesn't look
Yeah,
how his voice sounds. He seems like he should be a big, like
right.
eight
And
ball
that
type guy. And
skinny,
he's
tall
a skinny
dude.
little guy with a voice like
Is he?
this.
I've never seen him.
Yeah,
He's
I
dude, he's
always
like
really
pictured
six
him as
foot
the
skinny.
seven.
big ass
Like
dude.
he's tall as shit and
But
tiny
he's
looking.
skinny. He's really, really skinny. Yeah. It,
And then I love Mystical, but
yeah, I know you're a
Mystical
big
is a
Mystical
piece of
fan.
shit, so it's hard to love
I
him.
know. It's
But
tough to
yeah,
separate the artist from the art, you know?
especially when you consistently do the same piece of shit things over and over again.
Yeah, he doesn't learn his lesson at all. I think he's got a problem. Move, bitch. We're on the same. You're right. That hasn't happened in a while. It used to happen
Yes,
almost every show. Kane, what's your number 9?
I got Georgia off that Luda presents Disturbing the Peace.
I think
This
that
is
was
a
a
song.
single off of there.
that's a good song.
It's always a song I play when we go through Georgia. I got a funny story. So we drove down to Florida here a month ago or something. And so we got into Georgia. I played this song, whatever. Then we stay at my uncle's. We get up super early in the morning and drive through Atlanta. So I play Welcome to Atlanta. So Ryan, like my son, he's 5, like falls in love with this song. He's still asking to this day, "Will you play Welcome to Atlanta? Will you play Welcome to Atlanta?"
That's awesome.
Oh
That's
yeah,
some good parenting right there.
definitely.
Right.
You are succeeding as a parent.
Anyways, back to Georgia. I love that, the way that they describe their state, that GA red clay, it reminds me of, Ray Charles did his, Georgia on My Mind. And, he describes his state, but
Right.
they're describing their state in more of a hood sense, like,
Right.
big booty chicks and red clay. And so I like that song.
No, that is a good song, and I believe that was the single off of it. All right, we got one off one of the present ones, the DTP ones, which brings us to 8, and I'm taking us to 2004's Red Light District, and I'm going with the song "Spur of the Moment" featuring DJ Quick. Luda over a DJ Quick beat. Damn, it works so well. Just so laid back, classic Quick beat. Quick's also on the mic. They go back and forth each verse. It shows how versatile Luda is as an MC. Great subject matter, positive feel, good song, but damn, that Quick beat, Luda just rides it so nice. And I love DJ Quick. I love his production. I love his rapping. So it kept sneaking back on my list. So Spur of the Moment in Compton, we call it Spur of the Moment. That's my number 8. Raven, what's yours?
Ah man, spur of the moment.
For real?
For real.
We're making
And
up for it.
it's because of fucking DJ Quick's beat and the way they jump back and forth the whole
Right.
song. And
That's
Luda
dope.
is so he rides that beat so fucking good. And this was like Quick was still firing really high. So yeah, spur of the moment. So that's twice in the same list.
Kane, what's your number 8? Spur of the Moment?
uh, no, no, it might come up again though. Might come up
Oh,
again.
Hmm.
Hard Times. I always talk about how I love the real emotion type songs. And Luda's going through, I don't know if who he's talking about, who he lost. I know he lost his dad, but that might have been after this song. But he's talking about someone he lost, and I love that 8 Ball and MJG are on it. They all work really well together.
yeah, that is a dope song. That would have been on my honorable mentions, but that's not a diss. That's like it just missed my honorable mentions.
Love
And
me
I
some
like
8 Ball
those.
and MJG too.
Oh yeah, I mean, we got to almost do one of them shows one day. I
Oh
love
yeah.
8 Ball and MJG. Made
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
dope ass, pimp
Yeah.
ass
I'm in that.
music.
I'm on that one for sure.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
I'm putting that on the list. I know the guy who makes the decision, so I can probably make it happen.
Put in a good word.
Put in a good word. All
Kanye
right.
2024.
We're gonna do the fucking Kanye show, I promise. All right, number 7. I'm taking us back to 2001's Word of Mouth, and I'm going with the song Cry Babies. Oh no! This has always been my favorite Luda record, and after going through them all, it still was my favorite Luda album. And similar to Move Bitch, it's just the vibe of this song. But this one's more lyrical than Move Bitch is. It's got the Move Bitch vibe, but it's lyrical. So underrated as a lyricist. Great punchlines. You got Swiss beats on the production. And once I saw that and then listened to it again, I was like, that does sound Rough Rider-ish. Plus, he mentions duck hunt and double dribble in his verse. Reminisce points always score with Chris. So Cry Babies. Oh no, is my number 7. What's yours, Raven?
I went to 2003's Chicken and Beer, and I went with Stand Up.
Nice.
I love the beat, and I love that chorus. It's that album's move, bitch. You know what I mean?
It is.
And
Yeah.
and I always liked Shauna ever since that first song she was in on his first one. So it was cool that she was in there again. But it's just that vibe. Chicken and Beer is such a fun album. I stopped listening to that album about a month after it came out for like years because I crashed my first car that I finally bought, listening to hip hop quotables on like full blast, going way too fast around a curve, and I hit a pizza guy and just totally ruined my fucking car. So I threw that album away for a while, but it's one of my that's Chicken and Beer is probably my favorite album from him.
And that would be number 2 for me. That era, I mean, they're only a year apart or whatever.
Yeah.
He was just killing it
Yeah.
lyrically,
Yeah.
had, big producers behind him. Dope. That song might come up again later. Will it come up on Kane's number 7 though?
I got no, it won't. I got Freaky Things. I talked about the skits before. This has a little bit of skit in the beginning,
Mhm.
which is funny. And then I like how Luda and Twista go back and forth. I don't know, they're doing 8 bar verses back and forth. And Luda tries, doesn't go as fast as Twista, but
No one
tries to
does.
like match his style.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they did really well blending their styles together and trying to be on the same page.
Yeah, and that can be tough. Twista for like the early 2000s seemed to be featured on everyone's album. He had kind of hit finally, and everyone was featuring him. And some people would try to rap like Twista, and it'd be like, you shouldn't even have tried. But then some people, even if he wasn't rhyming exactly like Twista, as long as it vibed and made sense. And I mean, Twista was featured on everything in the 2000s. He must have made so much off of features. Number 6, I went blank for a second. I'm going back to 2004's Red Light District, and I'm in a hypey mood, so I'm going with Get Back.
Motherfucker. Dude, that's my number 6 as well. So go ahead.
All right, I'll say everything you're about to say. That's crazy. The third one we're the
That's
same.
yeah.
Well, I want to use this opportunity to talk about Luda's music videos. He's not afraid to go over the top, but it works. So many classic, funny videos by him. And this one, he's got big Popeye arms, and he's just freaking knocking people out in the bathroom while we're talking to him. And just, it's like a big cartoon because they're funny, they're over the top, but they're not corny over the top. Regular guys on the street would still bump it and listen to it. And he really could have a sketch show the more I think about it. Another song with the vibe like Move Bitch, just gets you hyped as fuck. It's just he makes great music to get you hyped. So my number 6 was Get Back. What's your number 6, Raven?
Huh. Get Back from Red Light District. That beat, it's the move bitch of this album. Every album
Yep.
from Luda has that song.
Right,
And
right.
Get Back was on there. That beat is hard. Like you said, the video was always awesome. Always loved that shit. Yeah, that was one of the standouts from Red Light District, which was an album I actually liked a lot more than I remember liking when it came out. re-listening.
Mhm.
That's a really actually a great album.
Well, if you just keep copying me, I mean, do we really need you on the show?
I guess not. So Kane's your new co-host, I guess.
Yeah, no.
Kane, what's your number 6?
Spur of the moment
Hell
off
yeah.
Red Light District. You know what? I love that it's a DJ Quick beat, but what does it for me is that that
Bloop.
DJ Quick, yeah, that
Hmm.
flop of it, you know,
Yeah,
that
he does. It's like
so
a
I could do that sound. I was like, that's so dope. Like, and I love that they go back and forth, and yeah, everything you guys said. And I love the sunny day songs.
right.
We've made music
Hmm.
together forever. I
Yeah,
love making a 72 in the in the shade. Like I love that stuff.
right. It's a song that rolled the windows down in the summer and just roll. Well, I'm glad you both like that song as much as I did because I thought it was like, oh, no one else will pick this, but I got to get it on. It's just so dope. So that's cool. We are halfway done. We are to number 5 already, and I think for the first time, I'm going to go to the year 2003. The album is Chicken and Beer, and I'm going with the big hit single "Stand Up." This is probably one of his biggest hits. It crossovered, but it's still an amazing song. He brings it lyrically, so many great one-liners. You got Kanye West on the beat. Another funny video, like when he says, feels like a midget is hanging from my necklace. In the video, he's literally got a midget hanging from his necklace. Um, Everything is supersized, like the beer bottle in it is like 3 feet. The women are sitting there eating a chicken drumstick and it's like the size of a person. The turntables are like a fucking manhole cover, and the guy's like, it's just such a great fucking video, such a great fucking song. So many great one-liners. Stand Up had to make it. I love that song. I mean, I love that song. So that was my number 5. Do you have Stand Up at number 5, Raven?
No, I did stand up at number 7, so we're good.
Oh yeah, shit.
Um,
Short-term memory loss.
my number 5, I stayed on Red Light District, and I went to number 1 spot because that fucking beat with the Austin Powers sample hooked me the first time I heard it. It's a plethora of fucking one-liners and his wordplay and Austin Powers. He just brings up Austin Powers like in every verse multiple times in funny, ludicrous type
Right.
ways. It was just a good hype up first song. I believe that was the first song on Red Light District.
After the
Um,
intro, yeah.
yeah. And I love a good first song.
No doubt. And that is one of my first honorable mention that has been before going in this, I thought for sure that would be in my top 10 for a lot of the reasons you said, but he also mentions Ice-T. So it was
Yeah.
hard for me to boot it from the list. I mean, but it ended up on
Piece of your
honorable
heart.
mentions. A piece of my heart went, yeah. No, that's a good one. I'm glad it made someone's list. What was your number 5 game?
Everybody drunk off of Battle of the Sexes. The beat on this song just bangs. Like every time it comes onto my truck, I turn it way up. It hits. And Ludacris, I think, just kills his verse. And Little Scrappy, I had no idea who Little Scrappy was before this, but he goes off in this verse too. Funny story about this song is I played darts for I don't know 7 years or something, every week. And at our home bar, they had this album on the jukebox. And I'd have the bartender turn it way up. I'd play this song. It'd be late, and that bar would just bump.
So
That would have been my number 11. I love that song. And I had a song that sampled that same Everybody With Me Drunk as Book chorus.
Yeah.
Battle of the Sexes was a weird album. I want to like it more than I do. I think the concept is cool, and there's songs I like. I like that song. I like My Chick Bad with Nicki Minaj. There's a handful I like, but I feel like I want to like it more than I do. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Number 4. Let's go to Chicken and Beer once again. And I'm going with hip hop quotables. Be careful when you're driving. You might crash listening to this. Luda, proving he's a top tier lyricist. And it's just one long lyrical verse, no hook, no nothing else. For you youngsters, listeners, there used to be a hip hop magazine called The Source, and there was a part called Hip Hop Quotables, where they'd put like the dopest lyrical verse of that month. And it probably helped that he named the song Hip Hop Quotables, but I remember they did then put this in actual hip hop quotables.
That's dope.
And the beats by Eric Sermon. I mean, just so many great one-liners. Makes me smile every time. Every time he gets you from the beginning, you know he's higher than Giraffe Pussy, and it
Giraffe
just
Pussy.
keeps going, just keeps going. Such a dope ass song, and kind of like you said, you can catch things over and
Mhm.
over, little things, and it's like I love that lyrical shit. So hip hop quotables, my heart wanted it higher, but it kind of got knocked down to 4. Raven, what's your number 4?
I went to 2008 Theater of the Mind with the song "Wish You Would" featuring Ti, because I actually am a big Ti fan. I love the way he flows. He's got a real cool, laid back voice when the way he raps. But he
Mhm.
can get hype, but he still sounds chill. I don't know. I can't explain it, but I've
He
always
does
liked
have it.
Ti's flow, and he killed that beat. And Luda, Luda has a really good ability of molding himself to whoever he's with on a song and matching them. It's something I noticed while revisiting his albums. Like he talking about Little Scrappy and shit. Like Luda rapped more like a Little Scrappy type of song than he would on his own single, but it sounds so fucking dope together. And I thought the same way about Wish You Would.
Right. All these collabs he did, I mean, he never seems out of place or awkward
Like
with
he's
the other
doing from doing
artists.
songs with Usher and then doing a song with Justin Bieber, like his first big single.
Yeah.
He still fits wherever he's
Oh,
at.
no doubt. No doubt.
Right.
So number 4 for you, Kane, what is it?
I went with Vertigo from Red Light District.
Uh,
You know, we've talked about Nas a bunch. I love Nas. But what did it for me is the beatbox of Dougie Fresh on the
oof.
just the
Yes.
whole thing. It's just the whole thing is just so dope. It's a cool idea, and then to put Luda and Nas and Dougie Fresh all in the same song, that's just knock it out of the park.
Super dope song. It was an honorable mention. And it was also
Same.
on Nas's Street Disciple album as well. So it was on a Nas album and a Luda album. But yeah, what a great combination. Dougie Fresh proving he still has it, Nas being
Yeah.
Nas. And it's dope that Luda ends his verse with a line from Lottie Dottie, which only makes sense because Dougie Fresh is there doing the beatbox. So I'm glad someone got that on their list. Dope. All right, top 3. We're there already. And I'm going back. I think this is the 3rd time. Word of Mouth with an F. And I'm going with the song Growing Pains. I love these type of songs, similar to like a mods back in the day. Songs about reminiscing always get me, especially if you're reminiscing about being a kid. And the beat is so perfect for this type of song. I don't know if there's a more perfect beat for a reminisce song, maybe back in the day by a mod, but it just transports you back in time. Luda does the last verse, but all the verses are great. The hook is done perfectly. Just such a great song that literally not literally, it seems like it literally transports you back in time. That beat will always get me, and I love the subject matter. Reminiscing songs are my joint. So Growing Pains had to at least be in the top 3, and it made number 3. Raven, what's your number 3?
Number 3. I went to 2010's Battle of the Sexes. I want to say for the first time.
I think so.
With the song "My Chick Bad" with
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj. I love the beat, and I am a huge fucking Nicki mark. Like I love Nicki. I wouldn't call myself a Barbie or whatever the fuck, but I love Nicki. I think she can rap, she can sing. I've always thought she was fine. So, but she kills her verse. Like this was the same era as the Kanye West Monster era, where she was just murdering any
Yep.
fucking thing she featured her on.
Mhm.
I think she might have had her first album out by this point, but if not, she was still, the hottest rapper in the game and didn't have an album out around this time. And she had the, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street references, which I always loved. She was fine as fuck in the video, so that helps. But yeah, just
Yeah.
My Chick Bad, awesome.
Yeah.
That was honorable mention. And talking about Nicki Minaj, that first album, I think is
Mhm.
dope as fuck. Almost
Same.
top to bottom. That album is great.
Yeah.
Her
She's
albums
dope as
that
well.
came after, I didn't like as much, but that first one, Pink Friday, I thought was just like the
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
How she
some
can go from, the R&B singing type of, chorus, the softer side of, that you hear it on the radio to the just rap her ass off, it's she's awesome.
Right. And she was like doing songs with Eminem and holding her own. I mean,
Yeah.
that's bananas. So no shame in love for Nicki Minaj. And you're right, it helps that she's not ugly. What is number 3 on your list, Kane?
Mine is Eyebrows Down. This is one of my favorite Luda songs because he just tells, how he grew up, tells how he got into rapping, tells how, Banneker High School pulling fire alarms just to get a crowd around, like just all these steps that he went through to make it, getting on the radio and doing, that whole story he just goes through. It's so awesome to hear his story. And then he was like, I couldn't have done it without, the block having their eyebrows done, people supporting me and people,
Mhm.
more encouraging me.
No, that similar to Growing Pains, those type of songs, looking back ones, they get me all the time. That didn't make my list, but that is a good song. Which brings us to number 2, which mine is On the Real song. It's from '07's release Therapy. And it's the song Runaway Love featuring Mary J. Blige. What a powerful song. I'm almost already regretting it's not at number 1. It almost brings a tear to your eye. Amazing storytelling of young girls in terrible situations running away. And you got the absolute perfect person to sing the hook. I mean, Mary J. Blige was the perfect person to do the hook for this type of song. Why isn't current hip hop artists making songs like this no more? Just the storytelling, the emotion, you can literally feel it. I love Runaway Love. I think that is the shit. So that was my number 2. What a great song. Raven, what's number 2 to you?
Man, I honestly don't remember if I've heard that song. Like I said, that album I didn't know
That's right. That's
existed.
the album that doesn't exist
Yeah,
anymore. Runaway
yeah.
Love, you gotta listen to that. That thing is
I'm probably listening to the whole album later because I totally missed it during this whole thing.
yeah.
This number 2 was actually my most surprising because much like the Release Therapy album in 2015's Ludaversal, I didn't hear it when it came out. I think I'd already kind of moved on from Ludacris. You know what I mean? Burning Bridges with Jason Aldean is such a good fucking song. And I don't
Yes.
listen to country, so I don't know anything about him. But he did good in that chorus, you know what I mean? I love the beat. I love the whole like fuck it, let's burn the bridges. I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It showcases just a really good but more serious sounding Ludacris song.
And that whole album is a lot of more, like you could tell he's not 25 anymore. It's
Yeah.
almost more grown up music.
He
Um,
features like so many people that you wouldn't think he
think
would
right.
feature. The Jason Aldean, I forget who else, but for that album, I was like, wow, this is featuring there's a lot of people I was impressed he was doing songs with.
It's even more proof how versatile he is as an MC. I mean, literally can make songs with any type of artist, and he doesn't feel out of place. Yeah, Ludaversal was a pleasant surprise going back through that because I think when that came out, I don't think I was first one in line at the record store to get it either. I mean, I heard it eventually, probably that year, but same as you, I wasn't like needing to get it the day it dropped. All right, number 2, Kane.
I got Fat Rabbit off of well, it was off of Incognito, and then they put it on
Back for the
Back for
first
the
time.
First Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the first Luda song I heard, and then it's the first Luda song I seek out when I listen to Back for the First Time.
Yeah.
I love the Timberland beat. I love how he flows over it. It's just like you said, he can work with anybody, but flows perfectly over it.
But yeah, we're to number 2, and this is the first mention of Back for the First Time, which is a little
Yeah.
surprising. Little surprising.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens at number 1. For the 4th time, I'm taking us to word of mouth. And I just had to. I'm smiling before even telling you my pick. Coming to America, which is the first song. Right from the very fucking beginning line from the movie Coming to America. The royal penis is clean, your highness. I mean, Luda has some of the best intros. We talked about it before. He might have the best intros overall out of any artist. But this beat, so dope. So many great one-liners. The hooks, which are people talking, they work perfectly. But then when you think the song can't get any better, the third verse comes and the beat speeds up and Luda goes the fuck off. He rides that super fast beat so well. Goddamn, there's a Mozart sample in the beat. I mean, I just love this song. I'll never get sick of it. I could listen to it every day. It makes me smile. I mean, this is Luda at its finest. This is the Luda I love coming to America. I'm happy just saying the name of it. So that was number one to me. What's number one to you, Raven?
Number one to me from the third or fourth time I've went to Chicken and Beer, hip hop quotables. It's my favorite song from Luda. It's the song I wrecked my Santa Fe in, you know, because it was raining and I was going around a curve a little too fast with that song just fucking blaring.
It's Ludacris's fault.
Yeah, I wrote a letter. I never heard back. But, no, it's just this is wordplay overload and one-liner overload. Like he wrote the song to be the literal representation of the Source's hip hop quotables, and then they printed the whole fucking 4-minute song in Source. You know, because it's line after line after line, and yeah, you know, the higher you are, the better that song is. I love that fucking song.
If you're high as giraffe pussy, then it's a really good song.
That's when it hit number one. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a dope song. So lyrical. He doesn't get enough respect as a lyricist when people are just naming him.
Yeah.
All right, Kane, number one on your list.
I got Teamwork off of Chicken and Beer. It's such a dope beat. It's such a dope song. The way he raps over it, you know, it's great that he's describing a threesome. Also, you know, he said whatever he says, get in the game and start working it out and digging it out. I'll lean to the side, throw a dick in your mouth. Like that's just awesome. Like you know, every time I hear it, I laugh. It's just the blend, the beat, the flow, the fast, the dirty, everything that Luda I picture him as,
And I believe, Raven, that was on your list, right? Teamwork?
That was my number 10. That was my number 10.
All right, shit. We're done already. Honorable mentions. If you're first time listening, if a song didn't get anyone on anyone's list, I think it needs some love. I just quick say it. So from Back for the First Time, Mouthing Off, which is basically just like a cipher over beatboxing, just hits my old school bone. I'm surprised nobody picked What's Your Fantasy. We got Roll Out. My Business didn't get picked. Area Codes didn't get picked. And I was gonna, when one of you picked Area Codes, I already had my argument of why it shouldn't be on the top 10 list, but you guys didn't pick it. So I guess fuck my my argument. Southern Fried Intro off of Chicken and Beer. Off of Release Therapy, Do Your Time featuring C Murder, Pimp C, Beanie Siegel. I fucking love Pimp C's verse. He starts with, if your partner's locked up, you need to send him some shit. It makes me smile every fucking time.
Yes.
Off of Theater of the Mind, Undisputed, and Everybody Hates Chris. What are we missing?
You kind of covered everything I would have.
Screw Up. Did you
that is a good song. Yeah, I didn't say that.
We were talking about that before.
We were talking about that before, yeah. It is a good sample of that Biggie line.
And like when he describing his stroller, and you know, like he came out of his mom with a blinged out stroller, and
he's good at painting pictures. Ludacris, it's in the books. We did it. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.
See you guys.
Take it easy, guys.
B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East coast to the west, B-boys worldwide, we supposed to be blessed, still a B-boy.